What is up, maniacs, and welcome to Broadened Horizon. I'm your host, Drake Riggs, here to bring you episode 27. The summer of action is about to get underway, and before it does, however, we'll chat with two of the more recent big winners. Returning to Broadened Horizon is French fighting sensation Claire Lopez, who made a successful debut at Rising Landmark 5, submitting Reina Cabota with a third-round knee bar. After Claire, Juan Archuleta reflects on his first two Ryzen appearances before heading into his big upcoming title fight against Kai Asakura. Thanks as always to the guests for chatting, and thanks to everyone who has supported the show, and a special thanks to those who submitted questions for the end. We weren't able to get to your questions this time around, but don't worry, we're holding on to them and we'll get to them next time. Whether you've been watching on MMAmania.com, YouTube, or listening on Spotify, don't forget to hit like and share if you enjoy. Joining us first, it's Claire Lopez. Claire, hello, happy Friday.
Hello.
How are things? How are you doing?
I'm good, and you?
Yeah, can't complain. Appreciate you, catching up so late. I hope it's not past your bedtime or anything.
That's fine, it's Friday, that's fine. No
Yes.
school tomorrow.
Yeah, there you go. Get the weekend to relax and do whatever you want. So,
Yeah.
well, it's awesome getting to catch up with you again, and congratulations on the big win, of course. But first, I gotta know, just how was the trip and everything to Japan, doing the travels and whatnot, just as a country? How fun was that experience?
That was really a good experience, but I didn't have so much time to enjoy the country. So I think we land on Wednesday and I put on Saturday. So when you have to cut and everything, you don't really go outside. But it was a really, really good experience because people were really nice, really good energy.
Yeah, of course, always a fun time in Japan with just the people and the kindness that they have over there. So you didn't get to try any good foods or anything fun like that?
No, because even after the fight, it was too late. Everything was closed, so we
Oh,
didn't really enjoy the food. But I just went to in Tokyo for I had to buy some Naruto things for my son,
okay.
and that's it.
All right, cool. I'm sure he was very excited to have some presents coming home with the victory too. Was all a perfect comeback, right?
Yeah, he was happy. Yeah, he was happy that because he knew that the rules was really different and
Mm,
dangerous. So it was a little bit scary. Like my parents were like, "Wow, I don't want to watch the fight because I don't know what's gonna happen."
yeah.
But it was after the fight, it was like, "Okay, cool, that's fine, all good."
Well, I remember you were saying last time we talked that what you don't normally let him watch him live or something like that. So is he seeing it now? Because I mean, obviously a great performance by you. Did you let him see it afterwards?
Yeah, I said you could watch the fight, but it was in the countryside. So there was no Wi-Fi,
Okay.
nothing, so nobody watched the fight in live. And when I called my son, and he say, "Oh, cool, okay." And then he went to play with his cousin. So yeah,
Yeah, it's no big deal. He's like, mom wins all the
no,
time.
yeah, just one more.
Awesome. Well, I mean, I thought it was a pretty big deal. And I mean, especially the way you pulled it off, Claire. Like, this was submission of the year caliber stuff. So, I mean, you don't often see knee bars the way that you got this one. So, just as a performance overall, how happy are you with it? And then to get something as rare of the type of submission that you did, it all worked out pretty darn good.
But for me, it was not something really special because I do it a lot of time on
Okay.
training. And I didn't really realize, but after the fight, when I saw all this thing on social media, and I was like, wow, yeah, that's something special. And I heard that someone told me that I'm the first woman in MMA to do this, to win with this submission. So it was like, oh yeah, cool. I like to do something different, that other woman. And yeah, this is something I work a lot on training. I like this submission, and it always work. It's really easy to do, actually.
Yeah. So you weren't surprised that she tapped then? Because I think, since we don't see it very often, like some people who watching, I think were maybe surprised that it actually ended up, finishing the fight.
Yeah, that was my last option, last solution to win this fight because even if I had a good first round, the two and three, I was really tired. It was
Mm.
intense, and she came back. She was moving forward, and she kicked a lot my legs. So I knew in Japan I would lose this fight by decision,
Mm.
and I had to finish. So when I had the opportunity to take down, in my head I was like, I need to find a way to finish. I had like 1 minute before the end, and yeah, I was in a good position in this half guard. I know it's the best position to do this knee bar, and I didn't really think about what I'm gonna do. It's just came naturally
Right.
because I do it a lot of time, and it took me maybe 50 seconds to finish because I was not in a good position, but I knew it was just a matter of second, and I had the knee, so I just had to find a good angle, and I heard this crack on the knee,
Ooh.
and yeah, so I released, and after I saw that she was not expecting something like this. I think she didn't know what was happening, but yeah, it was a bad finish for the knee.
Yeah, bad for the knee, good for you. So that's
Yeah.
the name of the game. So, great stuff there. And I mean, how fun was it for you utilizing the grounded strikes to your advantage, like the knees on the ground and the kicks? Because you were definitely taking advantage of them as best as you could. So, like, was that kind of nice and refreshing? Like, oh, here we go, some new toys a little bit.
Yeah, obviously I work a lot on my training camp with this new rule. Um, every time I had grappling or sparring, I say to my sparring partner, I'm gonna knee you on the face if I can. I'm gonna kick you, not hard, but I need
Yeah.
to have this in my mind. And if you can knee me, just do it. And yeah, in the fight, it just came naturally. Like if I always do this, always done this in my in my life. It was, I don't know. I just saw the head, and I was like, yeah, I can kick. And I was in the armbar.
Mm.
So for me, it was like if I kick her in the head, she gonna release and she gonna try to protect her face. So it was a good way to defend the armbar.
Yeah, that's what I love, I think, so much about that rule or letting those strikes be there is because it changes the submission dynamics in certain positions. Like with that one exactly there, arm bars are a little bit more risky because you can get kicked in the head. So I kind of like that. I mean, it's
Yeah,
realistic, right? Because that would happen in, let's say, a street fight, you know?
exactly. That's more realistic for a fight. I mean, you can't stay on the ground like that and just wait for the ref to stop the fight and stand up. You have to do something because every position is dangerous. And for me, yeah, I found it's really more realistic. I really like this. I enjoyed this rule. Yeah.
Yeah, of course. It's definitely more fun and more violent for the fans to watch too. So that's always a good fun part for MMA. But I mean, what has like the feedback and reaction been from fans and friends and all that stuff, Claire? Because you know, Reina obviously very superstar, popular, you know, fighter in the division and over in Japan specifically. So great person to get the Ryzen debut win over, and especially in the fashion you did. Like, has it been overwhelming at all? Just what have people been kind of saying to you?
Yeah, just after the fight, the matchmaker, the rising matchmaker, told to my coach, say, "Oh, Claire's gonna get a big popularity in Japan now because she beat Rena," and and I realized after the day after, I received a lot of message from Japanese people like, "We want you to come back. What a Niba was amazing," and I was like, "Wow, that's the first time I have message from uh, the people from the country. It's not my
Right.
country. But I received good message like this, and I was like, that people are really respectful, really, really nice, and they know even if you're not Japanese, if you do a great fight, they're gonna like you, and they're gonna tell you that they like you. And I was really surprised. And yeah, it's nice. Honestly, it's nice to have this kind of feedback from people. So yeah, now I'm just trying to have another one and come back in this organization because I really enjoy this experience.
Yeah, and I mean, I was going to ask, like, where would you rank like this experience amongst the ones that you've had in your career so far? I mean, I imagine it's kind of tough to beat. I mean, obviously it's the newest one, but where would it kind of sit on your list? I guess.
Yeah, I said to the matchmaker, I said this is the first time I feel this emotion, this feeling in the fight, in all the fight week. It's not just the fight,
Mm.
but the opening ceremony is something really crazy. It's incredible. I was like, wow, there's fireworks in the stadium. How crazy is that?
Yeah.
And yeah, I say honestly, this is what I need when I'm in a fight. I like to fight, but I need to have this show around the fight, And yeah, so I'm still signing with Combate Global, and they don't want to release me.
Mm.
They want to keep me until the end of the contract. But if they don't have nobody to for a fight, they can do this another time, like fighting for Rising and
Yeah.
representing Combate. So if they have a fight for me, that's cool. I can be active this year. I can fight for both organizations. We'll see. My manager is working on that, and yeah, I'll take anything. If there's a title fight for Combate, I'll take it, and I will try to go to the title fight in Rising too, because I think I could do this. Yeah,
Yeah. I mean, you're in a
maybe take 1, 2 fight, and then have a title fight if I win.
Yeah,
Yeah,
absolutely. I mean, it's a
that's my
very
goal. Yeah.
a very good spot to be in. Kind of it helps out both of them too. Like for you being representing Combate and then going over, it's like, oh, they don't want to get rid of you, so you want to kind of buy both sides and have all these options and ability to stay active between two promotions
Yeah.
like you want. So it's got to feel pretty good, right? Being wanted like
Yeah,
that.
and actually, Combate helped me a lot. I mean, they found me this fight on Rising.
Yeah,
They really treat me well. I'm not Mexican, I'm not American, but yeah, they really treat me well. They want to put me under the light. So yeah, if they have something for me, I would be happy to come back in Miami and fight. But if they don't have, I hope they're gonna let me fight on Rising again.
yeah, of course. And do you know how much longer the contract is? Just out of curiosity.
I still have 1 year until summer 2024.
Okay. All right. So that's a definitely plenty of time to get in as much activity as you need. So
And I saw that the number one on atomweight in Combate, she's fighting this week, like tomorrow,
yeah, yeah.
for Japan versus Mexico. So I'm gonna watch this fight, and if she win the fight, yeah, I'm gonna call her out again because I'm like, now you can't say no.
Yeah,
You have
well,
to take the step.
I saw that you tweeted about it. What Ana Palacios, right, is who we're talking about, and yeah, I obviously be paying attention to the fight, but you said that that's kind of like the only one that makes sense for you right now. Like, have you
Yes.
been focusing on her like for a little bit? Just what is kind of, I guess, why? Why is she the one? Because obviously the title and all this stuff, but I guess expectations from the fight
Um,
too.
since my last fight in August, I've been calling her out. I say I want this title fight. I'm number two. She's number one. I mean, it's the fight to do. Why I would take someone number three, number four? Just let's do this title fight. And I don't know. First she had like knee injuries. Then she couldn't fight. But she always have something. And now I see she can fight. So okay, so I'll be the next one. After this fight, you're gonna have to take me because she's the only one I want to fight in combat. The only one who makes sense
Right.
to go for the belt. So yeah, let's see.
Well, she does have to win first, right? So we'll see. It would change to the opponent then. Sawada.
Exactly. She's number one in combat, but on topology,
Yes.
I think she's just behind me. So.
Yeah, you have earned that for sure. And last thing on the kind of the Reina fight, real quick though, Claire. Like, I heard that she was gonna protest kind of the stoppage though because of the toes in the cage. Did you hear about this or any thoughts on
I
that?
saw, yeah, I saw people say that, but honestly, when I push my hips, yeah, my foot went outside the cage, but it's not like I grabbed
Can't
the cage
control
and
it. Yeah.
help, because it can't. The cage doesn't help me in this position to finish. That doesn't make sense what they say. It's just that my toes went outside the cage. That's it, and it happened. And she also, in the first round, she was trying to put her toes in the cage, but I mean, sometimes it just happens.
Yeah.
It's not like I used the cage. I didn't use the cage, so she can say whatever she wants, but the submission was already locked.
Yeah, it's always kind of funny, I think, too, seeing it just in fights when, let's say, transitions are happening, wall walking and stuff, and kind of the referee like bats at the feet. Like nobody, I think, is really ever thinking about grabbing with their toes. Like that's kind of very.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, if you grab with your hand, obviously
Yeah.
it helps you, but the toes, I mean, and it's not, you can't do anything. It's just outside.
Yeah.
So no, it doesn't help me. I didn't feel a difference when my toes went outside, and I think she tapped at the same time. So
Yeah.
uh,
Maybe unless you're somebody who has like freakishly long toes, but I haven't seen that person before. Finger toes. A little gross, but uh, and I wanted to ask you, Claire, like, is there a favorite strike that you have? Because you're, a very good striker as well, aside from pulling off this great submission here. But I wanted to ask specifically, like, you like the uppercut? I know you posted the Instagram picture doing the side by side of the uppercut you landed in both of the fights there. But is there something, a certain technique you kind of like to maybe not go to, but that feels extra good when you connect with it?
yeah, it's something in my game that I often do on training. And I was doing this before the fight, just in the backstage, when we warming up. And my coach say they gonna expect this uppercut. They know you do a good uppercut, so let's go for big
Mm.
overhand. And I start my fight with overhand, big cross, and I think it was in the last round. I say no, I want to do my uppercut at least once, but I was a little bit too far, so I touched, but it was not clean.
Mm.
But yeah, I had to do it so at least once in
Yeah,
the
get it out
fight.
of the way.
Yeah, let me do my stuff.
Yes, of course, and it all paid off in the end. So, do you have an idea when you do want to fight again? I know obviously you said let's be as active as we can, but like specifically, are you hoping for like a month from now, 2 months? Any ideas just yet or too soon?
So right now I'm taking a break in France because I had a long training camp. I've been waiting for a fight, since March.
Right.
So I never really stopped, and I felt that now I need a break. So I'm training, but not really hard at the moment. I'm gonna come back in London in June. So if I do a training camp, I think end of July would be perfect for me. End of July or August.
Mhm.
I say to my manager, and yeah, he's talking to Rising and Combate to see if there's any opportunity. I think the last event for Rising, it's end of July
Yeah.
before the summer break. So if I can be on this card, that's perfect for me.
Yeah, that would be really cool. They
That's
always
why.
have pretty good events in the middle of the summer, and it could even line up too because Kan Asakura, who was on the same card with you, she got the win. I mean, that wouldn't be a bad next fight. Top rated
Yeah.
atom weight potentially.
Actually, the matchmaker asked right after my fight. He asked my coach, "You think Claire want to take the winner of the next fight?" I say, "Yeah, of course, of course, I will take it." So I watched the fight, but I had to do the interview and
Hmm.
everything, so I didn't really watch properly. But I can do now. Yeah, if they offer me, I think it would be a really really good fight because she's a good wrestler.
Yeah.
That's what I know, and I like to wrestling. I like wrestling, and I always have good striker, but never have a good wrestler. So I think that would be a great great new challenge. Yeah,
Hmm. Yeah, and
yeah,
then maybe that one would be in the ring too, so that would be a little bit of a different experience as well. I mean,
yeah.
yeah. What would be your thoughts on that? Do you have a preference? I don't know if we talked about this last time, but between the ring and the cage, obviously you prepare for both, I'm sure. But how much a difference it'd
Yeah.
be?
As I said, I could fight in a ring. It's different, but my wrestling in the middle of the cage for the ring, it's still good. I like to take down. I don't need the cage to take down.
Yeah.
So yeah, if it's in a ring, that's fine for me. But obviously, cage is you add something else. You add cage wrestling, so it's for me. It's always better. But I would take both.
Of course, got to be able to do it all in this sport. I'm mixing everything
It's
up.
the yeah the mythic ring. I think this ring on Rising is mythic. So maybe I had to find to fight in this ring, just at least once to know what is.
Right.
Yeah.
Of course. And the more you fight with them, that it's just bound to happen anyway, since more of the events are in the ring. But we will see where it goes. And I'm curious, like, what would you say is the best advice for somebody who's getting into MMA, Claire? Like, with the experience you've gained now, like, is there something you tell people if they do ask for you, or what would you say to somebody who is wanting to start?
I would say first to surround yourself with the good people, the people who had done something in MMA. They know about this sports. They know about the struggle. I mean, It's a hard sport. It's really hard emotionally, physically. So you have to be surrounded by good people and with a good experience in MMA. For me, when I started MMA, I was with wrong people, not good coach, toxic people, and after a year, I realized this, and I changed completely. I went to London, and now I'm training with Brad Pickett, with my coach Sam, very good people, and it changed everything in my life. So yeah, you don't have to stay with the same people all your life just because you want to be loyal if
Right.
these people are not good, you know. Yeah, just find a good team for you. You have to. For me, I always say it's better to be the um how to say to be with good sparring partner, but people who gonna give you really a hard round. You know, it's okay if at the end of the training you cry and you're like, oh, I'm not good. I'll get smashed today. This is what you need to get better. You don't have to be the best in your gym. If you are the best, you're in the wrong gym. So
Mm.
yeah, just try to find a good gym, good coach, good training partner, and it had to be hard. It have to be hard every day.
Wow. Can't beat a good
Yeah.
environment, right? A good, healthy, positive, challenging, something that pushes you, right? So,
Yeah, challenging, but yeah, still having fun, still be with people you enjoy to be every day because you're gonna spend a lot of time in the gym,
yeah.
obviously. So you have to enjoy it.
And then I want to know, like, what would you say is the best advice you'd give for a fighter who's also about to be a mother? Because obviously, it's a big life change, right? And something that you juggle. Is there anything you could
Mm,
share from the experience there?
I don't think I have a good advice because for me it's not easy. Uh, yeah, I can't even say if it's good things, not good things to fight when you're a mother. But if it's something you really want to do, if it's your dream, if you believe in yourself in this sport and you know you can do something, just do it. And yeah, and honestly, it's not easy, but yeah, you have to find a good balance. You know, you can't be 100% on MMA. You have to find a good balance
Mhm.
between family and training. Sometimes it's even hard for me because I'm too focused on my training, but I need to spend more time with my family. So it's always, yeah, trying to find good balance
Of course, of course. Yeah, I can't.
and talk a lot with your son, with your daughter. Explain why you do this and what's the goal, and you have to talk about what you're doing with your child.
Communication. It's always very important.
Mm. Yeah,
And understanding everything. So, yeah,
yeah,
I
yeah.
think that's great advice. I'm not a mother or planning to be anytime soon, but I think that's good advice. So,
Wow, what a
you,
surprise.
yeah, you never know, I guess. But all right, Claire. Well, I appreciate you taking the time oh so much. I won't take up any more of your night, but always great getting to chat. And congrats again on the great performance. Really awesome to see. You go out there and do your thing on this kind of new stage, and then all the possibilities that can come from it is maybe more exciting than the win itself, I would say. So very, very happy for you and looking forward to whatever is next, whether back in Combate or Horizon or both. Just all the doors are open now. So it's really
Yeah,
cool. It's really cool to see. And so I
let's
appreciate
see.
you
Yeah.
still taking the time to chat, and we'll be watching.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, yeah, follow me. I talk to people who gonna watch this
Of
video.
course.
Follow me on Instagram, on Twitter. Yeah, I plan to do big things in 2023. So yeah, you have to follow me now and not when I'm on the top.
Yeah. Get on the train now before it's too late.
Yeah, exactly.
All right, Claire. Well, I'll let you have a good rest of your night. I appreciate you taking the time again, and I'm sure we'll catch up again sometime in the future.
Yeah, yeah, for sure.
All
Thank
right.
you.
All right. See ya.
Bye bye.
And to close things out, we have the Spaniard, Juan Archuleta.
Hey,
Yo, yo, Juan. What's up, man?
what up? What up, Drake? How you doing?
Good, good. Can't complain, man. Yeah.
Right,
Happy
right
to
on,
be
right on.
happy chatting with you. Congrats on all these wins, man. Haven't chatted with you since you made the debut in Ryzen.
Yeah, for sure. Thank you. I appreciate it.
Yeah, and it was funny. I remember asking Scott Coker about it at one of the events since then, right when you kind of got the Naoki fight announced, and we were saying like it seems like Juan's embracing and enjoying Japan maybe more than he expected. Like, would you say that's fair to say? Because
Yeah.
I know you stayed there a little bit extra too, right?
Yeah, oh yeah. We enjoyed the culture, my family and I, and it was just a great time, get to experience what I've always wanted to, especially as a martial artist, right? Like that's like I don't care what athlete or fighter you ask, they all want to fight in Japan, like because it's something that's just historical. So for me, it was awesome and got to experience it with my family and myself, and it was amazing.
Hell yeah, man. I mean, did you do any kind of fun activities or sightseeing or anything like that? Obviously, enjoying the food. I saw that on your Instagram, but like Disneyland, anything crazy like that?
On the first time, yeah, I took my kids to Universal Studio and we saw the Mario Land and like just all the cool things.
Yeah.
We went into Nara and seen all the deer that walk up to you. We went into Nico to go check out the shrines and all the samurais that that laid the path for them to be so successful during that Endo period. So it was very cool and very rich history there. It was like stepping into a time portal,
Yeah.
going out, seeing things back in time, and they're very good at preserving their history.
Yeah. That's awesome, man. Did you have a specific thing that you enjoyed seeing most?
Everything, I mean, pretty much seeing like how the communities work together on a New Year's, pulling this big sled up a mountain, and it was like everyone's wishes for the year were on there, and they
Okay.
worked together, drink a bunch of sake, ate a bunch of food on the street. It was cool, you see a whole community come together, which you don't see that very often in America anymore.
Yeah, for sure, man. A big old celebration. It's very cool. Different in a good way, right? So it's awesome.
Right.
But yeah, man, I mean, the two experiences down now, two fights already, racking them up. Did you notice a big difference or anything between the first fight in Ryzen and the second one? Obviously, different opponents, but like more comfortable second time with the rules and everything. How would you compare the two, I guess?
Yeah, definitely got a lot more comfortable and wasn't as anxious as I was in the first fight. Was able to settle in a little bit and fight my fight, and I loved it. I still I think it's a great environment. It's still different for me, so it's something that's challenging me and keeping me on my toes and keeping me training with full enthusiasm, right? Like, because it's something new. So when you have something new, you have excitement that brings into the next training camp, and being able to fight for the title for my next fight is obviously wanting me to get back in the gym right away.
For sure, man, for sure. And you mentioned the samurais a little bit earlier here, but what'd you make of AJ's samurai suit? I bet you thought that was pretty cool. He found that thing.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, it was cool. You got an all black samurai suit. He looked good in it, and he represented very well. I thought it was awesome.
Yeah, absolutely, man. And obviously, great stuff against Naoki. That fight was awesome, man. Like I knew it'd be good, but it was really a lot more kind of scrambly, really exciting grappling action than I think I was expecting and anticipating. But it was very fun. Great performance by you. Great win. I mean, just did that go as you expected it to? Was he maybe a little bit more awkward than you thought he'd? Because I feel like he's a very awkward guy to maybe fight. Those long body fighters always have that feel, I think, from at least watching, but I don't know. Just how did it play out in terms of your expectations?
Yeah, no, it didn't go anything as expected, right? Like I was like, holy shit, that was a fun fight, but that didn't go any way
Yeah.
that I wanted it to go, But it was like fighting in the ring and like bouncing off the ropes because the cage has a little more give than the ropes, and then he collapsed over me, and it was just like trying to figure out a way out from there. With some things that got compromised a little, but it was working through that, right? Like it's a battle, so things are going to happen. You're going to get compromised on some of your tools, so you just got to find a way through it. And so after that, found a way through it, and going forward now, I know, that things are going to happen. You just got to keep dealing with it.
Yeah, I mean, you adjusted very well after the first round. That was kind of like just getting caught a little bit in those situations that you just mentioned right there, and
Yeah.
the rear nakeds a little bit. I mean, were those any danger whatsoever for you? It didn't seem like it. Pretty calm in there, but he had moments obviously where he was
Yeah.
trying to get it.
Yeah, there were moments, but it's poker, and there you gotta play it off. You gotta not show your hand of panic and remain calm. So I'm sorry, one second.
All good.
Yeah, so sorry, I got a call. Yeah, but it was just like that this is where the fight's leading you, and I'm a well-rounded martial artist that no matter where the fight goes, I'm good everywhere, and that's what I had full belief in. And this one ended up being a grappling fight, and I was comfortable and confident in my grappling and my jiu-jitsu that I've practiced for years now, and I was able to showcase that, so it was good on my part and in his part, and the fans love it. Like, that's something that the fans truly appreciate, and Japan is a well-rounded martial artist, and not just to stand them up and like let them rip each other's head off. Like, obviously that's fun and exciting, but for them, the excitement is watching the grappling exchanges, watching someone work out of a submission and untangle themselves, and then put your opponent in a submission and work towards a finish. I think both of us were working towards a finish, and it was awesome to see when I watched it back.
Yeah, no, totally, man. I think it was a fight where even if you are one of those stand 'em up, let's bang guys, like, it was just a fun grappling fight anyway. So at least I would say so. A little biased, and of course, but even on the feet, man, like, you were having some good success. Got more aggressive, like I mentioned in the second round, and dropped him once or twice there. Like, were you feeling like pretty sharp with the hands, and like you could maybe put him away on the feet, and it just ended up, he was doing a good job of keeping it grappling heavy at most of the time?
Yeah, definitely. I felt like I was going to get the ending there, but like, again, some things were compromised that I couldn't go in for the kill, so it was just like keep trying to go no matter what, and I was trying to put it on the back of my head, but it was still compromising me from going forward. And so when things got tangled up, it was working through those situations and ended up grappling. But I definitely wanted the finish on my feet, but it played away to those two, and I believe in. So it's just like on to the next one, and this one I definitely want to end Asakura on my feet. I want to knock him out and just show my well-rounded martial arts skills.
Oh yeah, man, it's another guaranteed banger. So very much looking forward to that one. And he had a great win too. Beating the guy he did, and then especially the way he did. Like, what'd you make of the performance that Kai had?
Yeah, I thought it was awesome. I thought it looked great, and there's for him coming off, right, like, he looked good, but he was, in my opinion, kind of getting controlled in the fight, and then he goes and gets the finish, and I was like, man, he looked good, so I'm excited for the fight because it's going to make an exciting fight.
Yeah, and I know that he's obviously been a guy that you've been keeping your eye on since before you got this opportunity to even go to Japan in the first place. So for you to finally get this and it line up for the title fight, like, it's pretty perfect, right? Because it's been something possible for a while, but now it's come together where both fighting on the same card. It's lined up nicely, I would say.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I couldn't ask for a better position than I am now, right? Like, especially after losing the title fight in Hawaii, like, going to Japan, being what's it called, like, finding this opportunity is just exciting for me, and then gives me the extra motivation to keep going forward, right? Because after you lose a title fight, it is draining on you, and then I got this opportunity now I'm super stoked.
Yeah, man, it's gonna be a good one. And any idea when it'll go down? I mean, I know kind of the summer shows, they'll put on a big one maybe towards the end there, and that's obviously decent amount of time. I mean, it's kind of summer starting right now, but has there been any talks, or is it too soon for that?
No, they told us it was going to be in July. That's what the Sakihabara had announced, and so they said we don't know when in July, but be ready in July. And it was like, okay, like, so when he announced the Inoue fight, I'm sorry, he had said that we're going to fight again in July, the winners of this match. So I was trying to figure it out when I left, but they didn't give me a date. They were just like, just be ready in July. We're trying to work something out right now. I was like, oh, okay, cool. So
right.
I know they signed, because last year on the New Year's card they had signed Pacquiao and things like that, and so I'm hoping that it'll be on a card like that, because the excitement and the eyes that will draw onto that, and then being able to fight for the title on there, it'll be awesome.
Yeah, totally. Make it as big a deal as possible. And what they announced that on New Year's Eve, didn't they? Pacquiao was at the show, if I'm remembering correctly.
Yeah, with that he got signed. That they signed him for a couple fight deal, like doing exhibitions.
Yeah.
So,
yeah. Did you get to meet him?
No, I was in the back, like, getting ready.
Right.
Well, I was actually like that whole night was crazy at New Year's because there was like no time for anything. You know, it was like I didn't even have time to warm up on that fight. It was crazy, and then like. You know, thankfully the suit that I wore was so easy to take on and put on, you know, and take off. So, and it was light. So, but, yeah, it was just a madhouse there, you know, and then it was something new for me. So my, like, you know, everything was a blur. Like all I remember is just the blur of like showing up and fighting and then winning and going home, you know. It was like, wow, what happened? Like, you know, it was just one of those fights where this one I could remember everything, like took everything in and processed everything, you know.
Yeah, sensory overload a bit. So much going on.
Yeah. Yeah.
So it was smoother though in terms of like the backstage stuff. The second fight, like was it having done it before?
11 o'clock a.m.
Okay.
Yeah, I had to be there from 11 o'clock a.m. until I fought. So it was like, oh man, I was stuck here all day. But yeah, it was like, okay, I got kind of sat there, waited, and you know, fell asleep, and then woke up, and I was like, all right, I guess I'll start warming up a little bit, and you know, started slowly coming to, and then had our ceremony and things like that. So it was good. It was definitely an experience that I'll always remember. You know, that's what's important.
Yeah, totally, man. And you know, going into the Kai fight, like it's been talked about for a while now, where like I think that we want to see, at least fans of Rizin and whatnot, we want to see title fights be 5 rounds. You know, and the only reason, to my knowledge, that they haven't been is because of you know, old TV restrictions and whatnot. So they were kind of limited on the time and everything. But presuming it'll be 3 as of right now, right? Like, are you a guy who, since you've been used to the 5 rounds and, you know, obviously great cardio, it's no big deal for you either way, I imagine. But do you like to have 2 more if you could like vouch for that, or is it like fine either way?
Yeah, hell yeah. Like, why not? That's something that I've done my whole life in the MMA, like from the Gladiator challenges, winning the titles there, to King of Cage, to, you know, all the other titles I won at Bellator. Is like every title fight I fought in, it was a 5-rounder, you know? So it's like, I don't mind it being 3, but I rather prefer it 5. Because, like, again, I was telling the fans there, I was like, wouldn't you like to see another 2 rounds of me and Naoki fight and finish this fight off and see someone get finished? Like, that's what you get to see as a fan. Like, you're selling your fans out short. Like, don't sell your fans out short if you're having an awesome title fight. Like, let it play out for 25 minutes. Like, I promise to bring 25 minutes of action. Like, I know I'm always prepared. Like, I don't know about this guy, but I know I'm coming for 25 minutes and going to push the action and push forward with, you know, offense. So we'll see what happens. You know, everything's up for negotiation, right? And that's where good management, such as Tiki Gosen, comes into play and works his magic. And then my promoter, which is Scott Coker and Mike Hogan, come in and they do their part, you know, on the negotiation side. And I have full faith in whatever they do. So they speak for me, and I'm excited for whatever the rules that they make. For me, it's just showing up and being ready.
Yeah, absolutely, man. Anything possible, like you said. And, you know, it'd be cool to make history a little bit in that regard, too, you know, and on top of what a win would already be for you. So we will.
Yeah, I mean, we're already doing it, too, right? Like, how many fighters have you seen get basically like rented out for the year, right? To another promotion? Like, yeah, they've done 1 fights here and there, but to actually say, like, I'm still signed with Bellator, right? Like, but I'm fighting for Rizin. Like, I've made history in this type of deal that they've done. Like, I'm the first fighter that's ever done this. And so I'm excited to now, as to my I have to do my part and my job in winning this title and then going back into the Bellator promotion.
Right. So is that kind of the idea, like, you know, obviously get the title, then go back and then presumably defend after that and just kind of switch off and on, or is it kind of too early to say how that could play out?
Yeah, I think it's a little too early for me to know because I haven't finished these fights out, or I haven't even got the title yet. Yeah. So it's like, you know, it was like, hey, Juan, like, you want to go try to win this title? It's like, yeah. I was like, all right, well, go ahead. Like, here you go. I was like, hell yeah. So when we start crossing these bridges, like, and being successful, then I could talk about what's next, you know. But for right now, it was just like, I don't know what's gonna happen, you know.
Yeah. Well, man, I mean, it really creates a lot of very exciting and bigger possibilities with all these things happening for you on your side, and then what is happening back in Bellator right now with 2 of your past opponents fighting for the title, Patricio and Sergio, you know, getting ready for this one. Like, crazy fight right there. Patricio obviously dropping down, trying to do his own history at bantamweight. Like, what are your thoughts on, how he'll do at bantamweight, if it'll affect him very much, the fact he's doing it, and then like this matchup, man, with your experience against both guys, it's I'm sure you'll know better than most. So
yeah, I mean, it just depends how Sergio comes off surgery, because he's been out for a while. You see Henry Cejudo come back. Obviously, he had a longer layoff, which was 3 years, but it doesn't matter who you are. Like, time off is time off, right? And Patricia's been active, and just from seeing and being around martial arts for so long, it seems like no matter how good you are, it's the guy who's more active that always comes out victorious. And so right now, Patricio seems to have a good groove that he's in. He's reinvigorated by this weight cut, a new opportunity, so the excitement is there for him. Where I see it kind of burn out the second fight, right? Like if he does win this fight, now he has to fight Patchy. It's not going to be as enthusiastic for him to make the weight and do this because he's already the champ, and now you got this Patchy fight. Like, that's what I'm interested in seeing. Like, if he wins, is he about to do this? But if he loses and Pettis wins, he gets he gets full confidence going into with his knee, and now having to fight Patchy is going to be a difficult task for him as well. So it's cool to see. I'm excited to see these matchups. They made some great matchups, and I can't wait to get back in the mix with it.
Yeah, dude, the bantamweight division is absolutely fucking crazy right now, like just in the world in general, but like
all across the board too, right?
Seriously, like, man, being a part of it, do you think this is the best it's ever been? Because like I think it's the best division in MMA pretty easily right now, especially across the board. But like every promotion kind of has, you could say it is just based off of there. So like it's really good.
I mean,
right
even
now.
Boxing, right? Like at the 135, you have Gervonta Davis, you have Ryan. I mean, just like overall in combat sports right now, it seems like the 135 division is just like insane for everyone. You got Lomachenko and Devin Haney fighting this weekend. You got Aljamain Sterling, you got all these guys, and I'm glad to be part of it for sure. Like, to start putting a belt, get this next belt, and throwing my name in the mix. So, because I have about 32 fights now. That's like, man, I'm ready. Like, I'm where Masvidal was like at the time he started becoming well known. Like, I'm ready to become financially free as well. Like fighting. I've made my name now, and when I make this title run for this Horizon, hopefully come back to Bellator and unify the belts and be something like Horiguchi did. But being able to keep going forward has been done before, but the way I'm doing it's a lot different because I'm taking all the number one contenders out of Horizon right now, and then gonna have to go back, and I've been taking out number one contenders in Bellator already, so I'm excited to unify this. And but first things first is this fight with Asakura. So I'm excited. I'm so stoked.
Yeah, man, it's a great time to be a fan and watching just the bantamweight division in general, no matter what position you're in. So it's really good stuff. And you did mention Patchy as well. Like, yeah, he'll be waiting for the winner first. And I mean, man, just what did you make of him kind of winning the tournament, and especially putting Stotts the way he did another guy you're familiar with? Like, that was pretty wild.
I definitely thought he was going to finish Stotts, but I didn't think it was going to be like that. I did some interviews saying like, I know Patchy, it was going to be the dark horse to come in and be in the finals and win it if I wasn't there in the finals, And, I know how good he is, and I know how the mistakes he made against me, and he corrected them, and it's just like, it's going to make for an entertaining next fight, and fans are going to definitely, like, we put on a hell of a show the first fight. Now the next fight is going to be even that much better because we're both getting better. Like, right now, I'm getting the best I've ever got, like stepping outside of my shell and fighting in another organization. It's almost like go learn and go get better, and then come back and, wait for this title. I wouldn't call it a debacle, but wait till we figure things out with who's the real champ here at the bantamweight division. Then we're going to bring you back in for the main event, right? Like, that's how I feel it's going on. But obviously, I'm not taking away anything from those guys. They're all great fighters, and I'm excited to watch all their fights. But that's the opportunity that I have right now that I'm excited about.
Yeah, for sure, man. Yeah, there's so many great possibilities to it. And the story there would be pretty wild if by the time that you win the title and then come back and he's the champ and set up that rematch, that would be nuts. Like, see how that all plays out. But who do you think is a better matchup for him between Sergio and Patricio? Like if he was to fight one guy, who would be better for him?
I think they both bring different styles. Like Patricio will sit back a lot more, and actually they're both good counter fighters. That's what's hard,
Yeah.
Patricio and Pettis. But I mean, Patchy gets his hands wrapped, you're getting taken down. I mean, I don't care who it is, and he's gonna make it difficult. But it's a guy who's gonna be able to withstand that. And I think the better fight for him, in my opinion, will probably be Patricio. But yeah, I mean, I don't know, man. It's such a great fight. Both fights are such good fights for him.
Yeah, no kidding. Can't really go wrong. It's everybody's tough, especially in this weight class. So it is. It's crazy times, man. But I want to always appreciate catching up with you, man. Last thing I'll leave you with here before I let you go, I want to know, now that you've had the experiences in Rizin, now, like, if you could pick one person maybe or a couple, a fighter that you would like to see in Rizin with those rules and just the environment, who you think would be really cool to see that hasn't fought there yet before. It doesn't have to be Bellator exclusive or just anywhere in the world.
Two guys that I would like to see fight in Rizin would be like Aaron Pico and Neiman Gracie. Like those two are like, those two are animals.
Yeah.
And I know they would get the Japanese love and the welcoming that they would deserve, if they were able to make those fights happen for them.
Yeah,
because they believe in tradition too. Like those two guys, I know for a fact, like, especially Neiman Gracie, like a guy whose like family was almost hated, and then like brought in because they wanted him to lose, and then he kept winning. It was like, oh man, like, but I mean, just to see him go in there and keep, making a name for his family and bringing in that recognition there would be awesome to see.
Yeah, definitely some good choices there. I think MVP would be a fun one too. I mean, he had the Japan fight in Bellator. Goichi could be fun. I mean, there's a lot of options.
There's a lot of options for sure. But me personally, those are the two guys I'd like to see.
Yes, those are good ones. So we'll see. Maybe one day, maybe this New Year's Eve upcoming, we'll see what happens. But
heck yeah.
Until then, man, appreciate it, Juan. Always great catching up, man. And congrats again on these wins and what's going on. It's been super fun, super exciting to see unfold, and only going to get better with the title fight coming up. Big one that we've been talking about for like 3 years now, man. Maybe longer, the potential of it happening. So very cool.
Yeah.
It's finally on track. So best of luck with it all, man. And enjoy the time and the summer beginning until then.
Oh, yeah. Thank you. I appreciate it.